Alright, so this video, well, I call it a video, it's just you listening to me talk, but this recording most likely is probably going to end up being ridiculously long. Obviously, if you're looking at this now, then you see the final product, you see how long it is. For me, I'm just motherfucking starting. I'm 30 seconds in, so I don't know how long this will go for, but I'm going to imagine at least an hour and a half, 2 hours. So anyways, what I wanted to talk about again, I say again because I've done a couple now, is my daughter's mother. She is, I don't like to talk about personal stuff like this. Like, this is kind of personal. This is about my actual life. Like, I like to talk about stupid things, random things, or random personal. Like when I talked about my car. That was just a car, and it wasn't even mine anymore. The thing was already dead and gone. So it wasn't even my possession. Even if I gave you graphic detail and the VIN number and everything, it doesn't matter what you do to the car. It's not mine anymore. I don't care. Track it down. Destroy it. I mean, it'd still make me sad because it used to be mine. But you know what I mean. It's not mine anymore, so it don't affect me. But obviously, a situation like talking about some nonsense with my daughter's mother is still current. But it's just annoying, and it's something that I think about all day, every day. And so just talking about it helps me move on. The last T4Cast was the same situation. I don't even remember what that one was about. Whatever it was in the moment, I was thinking about it all day, every day. And then as soon as I talked about it, I forgot. And that makes me feel better. So anyways, that's what I'm going to do. So, if you've listened to any of these, which I know you haven't because nobody listens to these. I get about 4 views max if I'm lucky. But my daughter's mother is very much a pain in the butt. Always has been. That's why we're not together. That's why we haven't been for, Morgan's whole entire life. But anyways, she's obviously also a pain in the butt to her kids. And there's just been a lot of issues with that all along to casually deal with. And she's always been, like, extra harsh on Morgan. Not physical. I wouldn't say physical. I don't think she ever really smacks them. I think maybe once or twice she gave her the belt or something. But other than that, she's not physical. And I wouldn't say she's really emotionally damaging. Like, she doesn't call her stuff like, retard or anything like that. You know what I mean? It's just more or less like psychological is how she is. She just yells at this kid all the time, especially when she was younger, at least. All the time, just yelling at her over everything. But if you ask her, she's not yelling. She's just talking loudly. Okay. Yeah, I'm talking loudly right now to make this video. I'm talking loudly on purpose to make sure that it's properly being picked up, because I don't know how good this audio is. I have my phone attached to a thing that's connected to my heating vent. So I'm talking loudly to make sure that it's hearing me. This is talking loudly, though. What she does is not talking loudly. She's screaming to the point that when I pull up to pick up Morgan when she was younger, I could hear it outside while in my car still. That's not talking loudly. But anyways, I think those days are over because I know she takes meds now, like she should have been all along. Well, I say now. She's been taking meds probably for like the past 3-4 years now, which is good. It has helped calm her down in some degree. I don't know the full extent of how much, but I know at least somewhat, because there's been so many times where Morgan's doing something and like that feeling is starting to come, like, come on kid, don't do this, your mom's gonna flip out, and it doesn't happen. And I'm like, oh, alright, cool. Things were normal prior to how they used to be, so I'm almost kind of used to this new way of things now. Like, that's how long it's been, which is good. But she still, obviously has an issue. That's why she takes meds. And so that issue is still just always there. It's an underlying issue. So being a pain in the cock is always going to be there, even if it's a little subdued because of the meds. So anyways, fast forward kind of to today. And Morgan, I guess, she's basically 2 different kids. Okay, she's one way with me. She's perfectly fine with me. Perfectly fine. I never have any issues with her at all. I go to the store, she never asks for anything and never has, ever. I think she asked for like a pack of Tic Tacs once when we were standing in the checkout lane at Walmart. That's it. That's the only thing she's ever asked me for. Never asked me for anything, which is always great because there was one period in my life where I was really broke. I lost my job, couldn't find a job for 9 months, and fell way behind on all my bills. When I finally got a job, I had to focus hardcore at trying to catch up, which sort of conveniently enough, that's COVID started shortly after, and then we got all those checks, and those helped me out a lot. The stupid stimulus checks, yeah, it's a terrible idea for the government. It just bolstered our national debt to a ridiculous amount, but it helped me get my personal situation squared away. But anyways, yeah, so for a while, a few years, 2.5 years at least, I was super broke. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't buy anything for myself. I couldn't buy anything for her. But I still tried my best. Since I couldn't buy movies anymore, that's my hobby. It's basically electronics, I would say, is my hobby. I know that sounds goofy, but I like video games. I like movies. I like tinkering around on an iPad or whatever. Just electronics interest me. If it's electronic related, I'm interested. So I used to go to Redbox because it was way cheaper than buying a movie. And then, since I have a membership, I've built that up. So then they give me free movies. So I was able to get movies for free, which was great for my $0 budget. And then with her, I used to make homemade kids meals. I made a box and wrote kids meal on it. And I'd, cook some stuff, put it in there. Then I put like a little prize in there. Usually the prize wasn't a real prize because I didn't have money to get a prize, which always kind of made me sad. Like, I always thought this would be much funner if I actually could buy like some stupid little toy. Nothing special, just, I don't know, like party favors. Just throw some party favors in there or something. But I used to throw in like a special snack. That's what I did in place of it. And she always loved them. She thought it was exciting. Ooh, what's in my kids' meal today? And, I tried to do as best as I could with having no money and struggling violently. But anyways, where was I going with this? I had a whole point, now I forgot. So when we'd go to the store, I'd let her look around in the toy aisles, and I always felt it was like a catch-22, I guess that's the phrase, right? Because on one hand, I wanted to let her look around. I mean, I look around at stuff I like, so I want to let her look around at things she likes. But then I always felt bad because, like, I didn't have money to get her any of those things. All she could do was look. I didn't have money to, even a $10 thing, I couldn't do that. If I had $10, I probably needed that for something else, gas or to get us food with or something. I couldn't be spending it on a toy. So I always felt bad. But it didn't matter because she never asked. She would look, and sometimes she would show interest, and I would try to remember the things she showed the most interest in. That way, then maybe around Christmas, if I had the money, usually you get some Christmas bonuses, and I always worked 2 jobs. So if I got a couple bonuses that were, one job would probably give me barely anything, but still. And then the other one, relatively gives me barely anything as well. But still, I could at least take that and try to get her some presents with so she could have a decent Christmas with me. But yeah, she never asked, and that was one thing I always liked. Like, I always thought about all these other kids who would ask for everything and throw fits, and I don't have money, I can't get it. And she never did it. And it was always great. But yeah, so she's like that with me. She's totally, she's totally fine in stores. She doesn't act up in stores. She doesn't act up in, with me in general. If I tell her something, she usually, just follows through with what I say and just listens. There's just no issues. And everybody that knows her, with me at least, agrees that there's no issues. She's good at school, she's good on the bus, she's everywhere. But according to what her mom says, now I don't know, I know her mom also is very hyperbolous and overreacts to the slightest things all the time. If there's any situations that happen, she won't get the full story. She just jumps to a conclusion from the little bit of information she has. And also, she will make things sound so much worse than they actually are. Like, she'll tell you a story and it sounds like, whoa, and then you find out the real information and you're like, oh, okay, why did you fluff this up so much? It's not that bad. Just like she's also always making up these extreme, over-the-top scenarios of things that could happen. And it's like, look, the chances of that are slim. Yes, they could happen, and now that you're talking about it, it's probably going to jinx it and increase those chances. But under normal circumstances, it's not going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, there'll be like a day where, I don't know, let's say it's a little cold out. Not winter cold, but like right now, it's 50. So it's a little chilly. I got a t-shirt on, which is the wrong choice. I should have long sleeves, and I'd feel fine. But let's say she had a t-shirt on too or whatever, and that was it. And I drop her off. Then her mom would be like, where's her jacket or something? Oh, she's going to get, X. Illness. Make up something extreme. Something that maybe could happen. But the chances of it are ridiculously low. And that's what she always does too. And it's like, lady, can't you live in reality instead of being weirdly hyperbolous? So anyways, where was I going with this now? Oh yeah, so she says how Morgan acts with her, and she'll tell me situations that she's throwing a fit in the store because I told her she couldn't have a toy and blah blah this, blah blah that, or she'll tell me about, I don't know, some situation at home. Oh, I wanted her to do this, blah blah blah, and it's like, okay, well, A, is she really that extreme, or are you just making it sound that way because you suck at telling stories? Ironically, because I'm probably sucking at telling this story. I keep forgetting my train of thought, but you know what I mean. But B, that's another thing I forgot to say. She also never wants to take any responsibility for herself. Ever. Everything is always everyone else's fault. She never looks at herself, never looks at any of her flaws, never looks at anything she might I'm not saying this right, might have done. Was that the right inflection? I don't know. But anyways, she doesn't look at anything that she might have done. There you go, that's what I wanted. That could have exacerbated a situation or anything. Nope, it's always the other person. Oh, this person, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but why did they do that? I don't know, because they're an a-hole? Really? What did you do? What happened to lead up to this? Like, let's be real. Come on, spit it out. Don't try to hide your portions, then you can sound perfect. And then she's also ironic, though, because she's one of those people that'll wear a shirt that's like, settle up, cupcake, because, sometimes the truth hurts, and I don't have Band-Aids with me today. Or, one of those stupid shirts that's like way over the top and talks about people who like to dish out reality and truths and all this. And, you know what I mean? I wish I could think of the actual slogan on her stupid hoodie. But that's what she's like. But at the same time, if someone else turns around and does it to her, oh, she gets all bent out of shape, starts flipping out at them. They're such an a-hole. Blah, 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 this, blah, blah, that. Goes on forever and ever and ever. It goes on weird tangents to try to find anything to, like, throw at you to tear you down instead. And it's like, you don't make any sense. If you can't take it, then don't try to dish it ever. Like, don't wear that stupid hoodie because you can't take it yourself. So don't wear something acting like you're so tough and I can dish it. No, because if someone dishes it back, you're a little bitch, bluntly. Like, but anyway, so that's the other thing. It's like, B, if Morgan is acting up over the top or whatever, what happened? Were you being annoying and you're just admitting that? Like, I know one thing that Morgan absolutely hates is she hates how when she is trying to do her homework, if she doesn't understand how to do something and she asks her mom for help, her mom basically doesn't help. Or she does help, but she helps in like a ridiculously terrible way. Like, Morgan's not asking for someone to give you the answer. She just wants you to be engaged and actually offer help that, well, will help her. Kind of like I do all the time. When she has homework with me, I actually help her. I give her overarching hints, but they'll point her in the right direction. And she's usually able to figure it out herself. Like, maybe there's a problem before that. I'll be like, look at number 15. See how you started that one? And then she'll look at it. Yeah, okay, well, now think about the one you're on now. Think about how that started. Look at what you're doing now. And then she puts it together. Oh, I see. Like, that's what she wants for help. Or her mom, I don't know what her mom does. Actually, I'm not there. But from what Morgan says, her help is terrible and not helpful at all. She basically is, I guess, even way more broad than me. Because I try to keep it broad because I want her in the end to figure it out. I don't want to be giving her the answer, but, if she needs help, I'll try my best to give you some broad help to point you in the right direction. So, but anyways, she hates that, how her mom doesn't help her. She hates how her mom will tell her all the time a million things that she knows she needs to do. And so, maybe if Morgan is throwing a fit, it's like, well, were you annoying, though? Were you doing this crap that you know she hates? Telling her this and this and this, and she's like, Mom, I know. Geez, stop telling it. Mom, I know. And you just kept going on and on and on and on because that's how you are. And then option C is, I don't remember what C was actually going to be. B was actually an afterthought. Now I forgot what the real C was. With her acting up. I don't know. Did I say this for one? Is it actually as bad as you're making it sound? I don't know. But anyways, point is, She claims all the time how she is. She throws up. She throws a fit in restaurants or in stores, or she'll go to the store and ask for something, and then if she doesn't get it, she kind of throws a fit, starts crying, and I'm like, I don't know. How is this the same kid that I have? She would never do that with me. Why is she doing that with you? That don't make sense. So then it makes me think, okay, are you over-exaggerating? When you say she's crying, is she literally crying and tears are coming down? Or is it just, but I want, like, yeah, I get that, I want it. And, just something dumb like that. Like, kid, shut up. Kind of quote-unquote crying. I don't know. But anyways, point is, though, is I feel like she's like that because her mom is just a difficult pain in the dick, especially when she was younger, and now she's older, and it's just like, all those years have compounded and brought it to this point where she's just frustrated and, she's kind of too young to really understand her emotions and stuff, so she just acts up for her mom, I guess. Like, I always said this too. Well, I didn't really say it, but I always thought it, that someday this was going to catch up to her, meaning her mom. Things with Morgan were going to catch up to her mom. How she was always so verbally over the top with her. I was like, this is going to catch up. Either someday, I didn't say this, but to myself, I just thought someday your kid's going to hate you and not want to bother with you, or someday she's going to get older and just want to live with me instead of you, or something, because you are an idiot. And here we are. We're at a point now where Morgan's older and she's just very difficult for her mom, apparently. And it's like, well, like they say, you reap what you sow. This is what you created by being a dickhead all these years. There's more than just that, too. Like, they had a child. Well, I say they. Her mom and her husband had another child when Morgan was 3. And I feel like that kind of played a little part in it as well, because all along, Morgan was just her. It was just her and her mom, and then her and me. Now this kid comes along, so it's still her and me, but with her mom, there's like competition. There's a baby. Obviously, babies need a lot of attention. So now they're distracted with that. So Morgan's not getting all the attention anymore. So I think that kind of started things off on the wrong foot for them. But still, everything else didn't help. And I feel like having that kid made things worse for Morgan when she was a kid too, because that's like a lot of the reason, I guess you could say, of why her mom was always flipping out at her. The slightest thing with that baby, and then her mom would be flipping out at her. Oh, he's just a baby. He's just 1. He's just 2. So, yeah. So, anyways, like I said, though, I never experience it. I never experience it with me. I never experience it, her doing anything with them, because I'm not there that much. You know what I mean? I stop by to pick her up, and then I'm out of there. I'm not trying to hang out. But this all is kind of like a backstory just to bring us up to where we are now, which is, what's today's date? It was Thursday, what are we? October 20, 22, 21, 20, 19. Thursday, October 19th, 2023 at 5:30, Morgan had parent-teacher conferences, which, quite honestly, I feel like are absolutely worthless for me to go to. Or not me, both of us to go to. Morgan does very well in school. She's well-liked by all the teachers. She always is ready to participate. One of her teachers says that anytime he asks a question, she always has her hand up first. Every question, always has her hand up, and it's always the first one up. Like, she's very willing to participate. She makes friends easily. Everything. Like, she's a good kid. There's no reason for us to go to parent-teacher conferences. Parent-teacher conferences, I feel like, are for, like, kids that are struggling. Then the teacher can talk to you about what's going on, what measures have been taken to try to help the kid, what are they struggling with, as, like, a casual hint to the parents, like, you could help if you want with this, because this is what your kid is struggling in. A kid that's doing perfectly fine don't need no dang parent-teacher conferences. We're not going to learn anything. We're going to hear what we already know. But for some reason, she was pumped to go. I guess she just wanted to, like, show off the school to us. So that's kind of also why I went, because I know she was pumped to go. And, we get there and she's, like, running through the school, too. So, but anyways, when we got there, we were a little bit early. Well, actually, her parent-teacher conference was at 5:40. We were there at 5:30. And then we get to her class. It was probably 5:33. Let's say we were a smidge early. No big deal. But, so there's some chairs and stuff that you can wait. while the teacher's with the previous parent. And so Morgan's locker happened to be nearby, actually, to where the classroom is and where we were sitting and stuff. So she shows us her locker and, shows us the inside of it. And then she tells her brother the combination so he can play around and open it. And he gets it, which we didn't think he would just because, well, he's kind of dumb. Not being mean. I mean, geez, his mom says it all the time, too. I mean, he is kind of dumb. Like, it's just the truth. It might not sound nice, but anyways, he actually figured it out and got it open. And then he closed it and tried again and got it open again. It was like, wow, I guess you're good at this. But anyways, one of the times it was open, she just wanted to kind of show us what was in there. And then she wanted to organize it a little. And then at the very end, she had a book in there. It wasn't her book. It's clearly like a library book she rented because the thing's all not super ratty, but, it's not in great shape. Like, her books would be brand new. This thing wasn't brand new. It was clearly used. But, so I took a quick look at it just to see what it was. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then I put it back. Then her mom goes to take a look at it. And she, Morgan gets like all cranky with her. And then she's trying to snatch it from her. Come on, Mom, I want to shut my locker. And then she's, Morgan, I'm looking at the book. And then she's, Mom, tries to snatch it again. She says, Morgan, I'm not, blah, blah. I'm just looking. You try to snatch this away from me again, then I'm going to blah, blah, blah. Then Morgan's kind of just standing there, like, having an attitude, like, oh. While her mom's looking at the book, and she's looking at her also, like, would you hurry up? Like, cranky about it. And, I didn't say anything because, well, the whole situation is just weird for me. You know what I mean? Like I said, I don't experience this. She would never do that to me. Even if she was mildly cranky and wanted me to hurry up, she'd be like, Dad, I just want to shut my locker. Come on. Like, she would approach me differently than she was with her mom. Like, I'll give it. Her mom, I mean, she was being kind of rude to her mom, a little over the top. But it's just weird. I don't see it. I hear about it all the time, but I don't see it. I don't see it with them, like I said, and I don't see it with me. So this was, like, weird and foreign. Like, what? What's happening? This is my kid, right? What's going on? And so anyways, after that, actually, let me back up a tiny bit. So I kind of smile and stuff, and I, like, giggle a little. Not that I think it's funny. It's almost like I don't want to say a nervous reaction either. I don't know I wasn't nervous or anything. It's just like an automatic response, though, from, like, when she was young. Because I used to smile and giggle a little too when she was younger, and she would be flipping out at her, but it wasn't because I thought it was funny how she was treating her, how her mom was treating Morgan. It was more because it was just so awkward and uncomfortable, and I was like, oh my God, what is going on? And I just didn't know what else to do. So then it was just a smile and a little giggle came out. But in reality, I was like, I gotta get this kid out of here. What is happening right now? This is borderline child abuse, I think. That was the other thing, too. I didn't know. I'm like, is this? I guess it would be, right? I don't know. Which, actually, as a side note, what I did try to start doing is I came up with the idea that I was going to start recording every single time I went for a pickup. I secretly had my phone on record in my pocket so that then I could record every time that she was flipping out at her. And then I was going to take it to DCF and see what they thought. But oddly enough, and possibly mildly semi-inconvenient towards me, she kind of stopped that behavior after I started recording. I mean, I wouldn't say she knew, because I set that up in my car and everything before I went in, and then I always slipped it in my pocket. So, like, and this was winter that I was starting to do this. Like, I had a jacket on. I had a big jacket that I just slide the phone in my pocket. You couldn't see that my phone was in my pocket, and even if it could, you didn't know it was recording. So, yeah, that kind of failed. I was like, dang it, I should have thought of this a little sooner when things were bad. Now apparently it's too late. I don't really know why she stopped. I mean, it's good. I'm not complaining, but it's just weird how that worked out. I start secretly recording her, and she's no longer flipping out at the kids, so my recordings are useless. So anyways, as I was saying, when Morgan was giving her mom a hard time about the book, yeah, I kind of laugh and I giggle a little. It's not really a giggle, it's kind of just like a noise comes out. But it's not that I'm laughing because I think it's funny or smiling because I think it's funny. It's just like a nervous automatic reaction, like, oh, here we go. I'm gonna have to experience some awkward nonsense or whatever, So anyways, I also don't really know how to respond to that because, as I said, Morgan don't act that way for me. So it's just like, I don't have like an automatic, you know what I mean? It's not like I deal with this all the time myself and I'm like, oh yeah, I know how I handle this, like this. No, I never have to deal with that. So I don't know what the proper protocol is to handle that situation. She never acts up for me at all. Like, I don't have any instincts to yell at her or discipline her because I don't need to. She's always totally fine with me. The most I have to do is be like, all right, come on. That's the extent of me getting frustrated with her. All right, come on, jeez, stop it. Like, that's it. I don't ever really need to do anything more than that. So anyways, of course, in that moment, then her mom gets mad at me. Why are you just standing here smiling and laughing? It's not funny, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I didn't say it, but that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, yeah, I know, but like, what I'm really thinking to myself is, you brought this on yourself. Because when Morgan was younger, you used to treat her like crap, and I'd always, same thing, stand there with like a smile, and it was super awkward and uncomfortable, and I never knew what to do, but I always wanted to do something, but I just didn't know what, and it was like, ugh. So I'm like, you know what, like they say, payback's a B word, so now I'm standing here awkwardly smiling because she's being rude to you instead of you being rude to her, and it's like, well, that's what you brought on yourself, bish. But anyways, then she tells her, Morgan, come sit down. There was 3 chairs. I wasn't sitting because it was her. She brought her son as well. So it was Morgan's mom, Morgan, and her brother. So I was like, whatever, I'll just stand. I have a desk job in here. I sit all day. I can stand. It's fine. So anyways, he was dicking around playing with her locker, so he wasn't sitting, but she wanted her to come sit. Her mom wanted Morgan to come sit, and then she was just standing there, like, ignoring her. She didn't say no or anything. She just stood there, like, looking at her with her arms crossed and stuff. And then she's like, Morgan, get the fuck over here. I said, come sit. And then she was just standing there like, no, or something. So then I'm like, great. Now this is going to make a weird situation for me. Because then her mom's going to be like, why didn't you say anything? So then I was just like, why are you being difficult? Come on, just go relax. And she went right over. No problem. Didn't offer anything. Just went over and it was fine. But, yeah, but afterwards, you know, of course she was all cranky with me, so afterwards we get outside, and, like, we're just basically right outside the door of the school, and then she starts, like, I don't want to say yelling at me, but, you know, being annoying and saying stuff. You know, you need to work with me. We're supposed to be co-parenting. She doesn't have 2 separate lives. She has one life in 2 locations, or whatever dumb thing she said. And yada, yada, yada. It's not funny. You know, you shouldn't be just standing there. You did nothing when she was acting up. And for me, I didn't say anything because I'm just like, ugh, I don't have time for this. I'm trying to leave. Like, we already had to waste time at a parent-teacher conference. It's, you know, 7th. It's, what time is it? Like 6:30 at that time? When was her thing? 5:40? Yeah, so it was probably roughly 6:30, maybe 6:20. So it's like, we gotta get going. Like, we haven't had dinner yet. Like, I'm not interested in standing here. So anyways, I'm just standing there listening to her dumb nonsense. But I'm thinking things, you know. I'm thinking, like, you know, you say she doesn't have 2 separate lives. She has one life. Okay, I get it. Yeah, she's one person, so she has one life. But to a certain extent, she does have separate lives because she has her life with you, meaning her mom, and all that environment, you know, her brother and James, you know, her mom's husband. And then she has her life with me, where it's usually just us 2. So it's like, yeah, that kind of is 2 separate lives. She has the life with her mom, where her mom is more cheap on the kids, you know, kind of like a stereotypical parent. The parent goes somewhere to get a drink, but the kid can't get one. Where me, I never do that. If anything, I do the opposite. I go somewhere so she can get a drink, but I don't get one. You know, and then I also am stupid with my money, and I always buy her everything that she wants. Well, actually, no. I technically don't buy her anything that she wants because she never asks for anything. I just buy her stuff all the time. You know, if I'm out and she's not with me, like let's say on a Friday, I don't have her on Fridays. So if I'm out and I see something I think she'd like, I buy it. Or if we're at the store and she's just looking at something, just looking at it, I'm like, are you getting that? I kind of force it on her. So anyways, where on the other hand, her mom doesn't do that. Her mom's more it's almost like a plan when they go and get something. She doesn't just get stuff on a whim. It's planned. Okay, we're going to go to Five Below today and we can get some things. So, and then there's also, like, her mom is more boring and doesn't really, like, I don't want to say doesn't do anything with her, but it's not like me. Like, I always do everything with Morgan all the time. When she was smaller, we'd go to the park, and I would play with her. If there was no other kids there, I would play with her. I didn't play with her if there was other kids there, not because there was other kids, and I was like, oh, she can play with them, because I wanted to play with her also, but it was more just because I figured, well, if there are other kids there, it might look weird to the other parents, seeing some guy running around in the playscape or whatever, and their kids there. Like, I'd feel kind of uncomfortable, so I'm like, well, I'm not going to do that. But typically, anyways, it was usually just us when we went to the park. I mean, we live, like, in a small area. It's not like we're in New York City or something. So majority of the time, it was just us, so I always played with her. We used to color together. I actually want to color with her again. We used to do something called surprise pictures. And basically how that worked is she would choose a coloring book for me, and then I would choose a coloring book for her, and then you look through and you find a picture that you want to color for the other person, and you color it as discreetly as you can without the other person seeing it until you're done. Then you rip it out and give it to them, and surprise pictures. But we haven't done that in a long time. I mean, she is getting older, so I'm sure she doesn't care about coloring as much anymore, but it was kind of a fun little game, if you want to call it that. It was relaxing, we used to color. Sometimes I'd put on some music, so we'd listen to music while coloring. Other times we'd just kind of talk. I don't know. But still, I do that with her. We painted a whole bunch of Bob Ross pictures, which winter's coming, and that's the season for us to do that. So Bob Ross pictures hopefully will be coming back again. Last year I didn't do any. It wasn't because I didn't want to. It just kind of didn't happen. I don't know. I never got around to buying any canvases. So hopefully this year we'll do a couple. Even if we only do 2, that's fine. It's 2 new pictures to hang up on the wall. And yeah, we just do everything together. I take her swimming, I swim with her. Where on the other hand, her mom doesn't really do any of that stuff. She don't paint pictures with the kids. If she takes the kids swimming, they swim, and she just sits on the sidelines. She don't swim, or if she does, it's brief. Goes in, swims a little, gets out. I swim the whole dang time, wherever we go, whether it's a pool or just the local pond. I swim the whole time that we're there. The only time I get out, well, not really at the pool because you got to pay, but if it's at the pond, the only time I get out early is if she gets out early, because then I'm like, okay, well, I guess she's bored or cold or something. I'm not going to just keep swimming by myself. Like, I didn't come here for me. I came here for us. So if half of us is, if you are out, then it's just, which is just weird, Get it? Us, U-S, you are out. So that means hey. So that means I'm just the S. But anyways, yeah, her mom's not like that. So it is 2 different worlds, and like, there's also the aspect of her having her brother there that she has to play with and deal with. Where with me, it's just me. It's her and I. That's it. Everything in my place is either hers or mine. It's not her brother's, or, she doesn't have to worry about someone touching her stuff. It's usually pretty safe in her room, except for recently, because I had to have somebody come and, like, repaint the ceiling and stuff. And this guy was a total dickbag. He trashed her room, basically, so... But other than that nonsense, her stuff usually is safe. No one's in there. The door's always shut, so the cat can't go in there. Like, I have no business going in there unless I'm putting away her laundry or something. So, And then it's also different worlds in the sense of how things are approached. Like how her mom is quick to just attack her all the time over everything. Where me, I don't do that. And if I do have something to say about something, usually I do it in a sarcastic, passive-aggressive way. Like, well, maybe if some people didn't, X, I wouldn't be having to, hold on, I'm stumbling all over the place. So, like, an example would be, like, say she spilt something, and then she's complaining that I'm taking forever to, I don't know, say she's waiting on me to do something else, like check her homework. And then I'd be like, well, maybe if someone didn't spill their drink all over the floor, I wouldn't be cleaning it right now. I mean, I don't know who did that, but somebody did. Obviously, it's her, but, like, that's my way that I go about being, like, mean to her, I guess you could say, where her mom would just be like, shut the fuck up. I gotta clean this shit now because you can't fucking pay attention to your fucking drink. So, anyways, there's that. Then the other thing is, she tries to make it like her issues with Morgan are somehow my problem. Like, she tries to spin it as if she has problems with Morgan, and Morgan gives her a hard time because of me. Like, it's like, I don't know what she thinks. Like, when she's with me, I'm like, hey, next time you see your mom, make sure you give her a hard time. Yeah, next year's super difficult. I got your back, don't worry. Like, no, that's stupid. I would never do that or say that or anything like that. I would never promote that. That's ridiculous. I mean, even growing up, well, I mean, she still is, but, you know, when she was smaller, I never even talked about her mom. I never even really mentioned her mom. And every time I did talk about her mom, I always tried to keep it nice and sweet. I'd call her Mama. Even though I'd be thinking, oh, that dumb bitch. But I'd still say Mama just because I'm talking about her mom. And I just want to make it sound sweet enough and not too aggressive. Now I say your mom because, you know, she's a little older. So Mama's kind of weird now, I guess. And she's also able to express that her mom's a pain in the butt. So I'm not going to call her a sweet name. But still, my point is I never really talked crap about her or anything like that. So I don't know how Morgan acting up for her is somehow my problem. But, like, she tries to act like it's my problem because she says, well, anytime you go out, you just buy her stuff. So if you go to the store, you buy her things. So then when she's with me, she throws a fit if she can't get something. Or if you go to Cumbies, you buy her a drink. Where if I go to Cumbies and I'm not there to get her a drink, but she wants one, then she gets mad because I didn't get her a drink, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, I mean, yeah, she has those luxuries with me, but at the same time, you not being able to handle your kid and control your kid is not my problem. Okay? You need to figure out how to properly discipline your child. You also need to properly figure out how to have your child respect you, so that way then you don't have to deal with that. It shouldn't matter what I do. I could become a billionaire overnight, say, and be able to be over the top extravagant with her, get her own personal helicopter to bring her to school, and buy her all kinds of super fancy clothes and stuff. But when she's with you, she should still understand that she's with her mom and be respectful and stuff. Like, it has nothing to do with how I am with her. Because when she's with me, she's perfectly fine. And it's not because, oh well, you spoil her. Of course she's going to be good to you. Blah, blah, blah. No. It's because when she was young, I set boundaries with her. Solid, sturdy boundaries that we still adhere to today. I had it at a point where, you know, I was able to just give her a look when she was acting up, and she would stop. She knew that the look meant, oh, well, I shouldn't do this anymore. Like, just a look, literally. I didn't have to say anything, didn't have to move. She could be sitting next to me, and all I'd have to do is turn my head just enough so that then I could see her, make eye contact, and just have that certain face that I would make, and she knew, oh, I should stop. I'm not doing something right now. I should stop. Like, what, am I going to blame that on her? Oh, she's so good for me because of you. I don't know what you do, but you make her be so good for me. No, I instilled that. So she knew from whatever past experiences, maybe when I did get mad at her, I had that look or something. So then she knew that the look just meant, oh, I don't want to get yelled at or whatever. You know, like her mom is just a pro at not taking responsibility or accepting reality, actually. She doesn't accept reality either. But she's also pro at not accepting responsibility. She wants to blame everything on everyone else all the time. And no matter how much facts and reasoning and logic you use to prove, no, you're wrong, idiot. Nope. Then it's just you being an a-hole. In her eyes, you're just being an a-hole. And then, you know, then it goes on to the tangent of her calling you all these stupid, dumb names that don't have anything to do with anything. It's just her being rude because she can't accept the truth ever. And it's annoying and dumb and childish, and that's funny too, because then she's quick to call everyone else a child. Like, oh, you're such a 2-year-old. Really, though? Am I? You're the one flipping out because you don't know how to control your kid, and I'm calling you out on it. But I'm the 2-year-old? Alright. That makes sense. But anyways, so yeah, she tries to blame all this stuff on me, like how she acts on me, and it's like, look, if you want to blame anything on me, if she acted perfectly, you could blame that on me, because then that would be my fault. Yeah, she's very well behaved because I've instilled that in her. You're welcome. It's like now it's to the point where You know, just like at the school. She was giving her a hard time about the book and giving her a hard time about coming to sit down, and somehow that's my problem. I should have been, you didn't say anything. You just stood there while she was giving me a hard time, being disrespectful. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, and you're her mom. You don't know how to discipline her when she needs it. You know, you don't know how to, all right, asshole. You don't know how to, be her mom. I gotta do it all for you. I gotta do it for when she's with me and with you. How do you like it, fuckhead? I make these all the time when I'm driving, and some dickhead, all these idiots on the highway think they go 100 miles an hour. And so then they sneak up behind you when you're just casually passing someone. Like, I can't, you gotta move over. Flicking their beams at me like, F you. You know what the speed limit is, faggot? It's 65, okay? I'm sure as soon as you see a cop sitting on the side of the road, you're gonna lock him up and drive like a little pansy. Because, instead of being a real man and having some balls and just flying by that cop and being like, whoop, guess I'm gonna accept my consequences when he pulls me over. No, you're gonna turn into a little pussy and, I guess lock up, yes, officer, I was going 55 the whole time. But, when you're behind me going 72, that's a little too slow for you, right? And you're gonna flick your beams. People are so stupid. It's kind of funny. I don't want to go on this weird tangent because I'm supposed to be complaining about Morgan's mom, but this motherfucker is annoying. I knew he'd be annoying too, because I could see when he was behind me that he was creeping up quickly, and I could just see that he was going to be a dickhole. And sure enough, idiots. Because whoever I was passing, it's like I had just enough space to move over. Oh, scoot on over! Come on! I need to drive like an asshole! Come on, you're in my way! But anyways. One thing I always think is, it's good that I'm big now, like, as a person, because, like, I don't know, always when I was younger, I was kind of small, and it always made me, like, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, not intimidated, but I've always been a realist. I still am a realist. I was a realist then, too, and it was just, like, I wasn't going to try to start trouble with anybody, because I understood my size. I didn't have an advantage. But now that I'm bigger, it's almost like the roles are reversed. Now I can appear to be semi-intimidating because I'm kind of big. And because I'm kind of big, even if I'm not intimidating, well, I can definitely hold my own at least. As opposed to how things were when I was a kid, Even, I say kid, that's even like most of my teen years as well. I really didn't fill out until I was like 20. But anyways, my whole point is this little dickbag in that car that was beaming me. It's funny, because if I tracked him down, I'm probably way huger than him. And it's like, hey, fucker, you sure you still want to be a dickhole on the road and flash your lights at me? Like me going 72 is too fucking slow for a 65 speed limit? Dick. How about we do something with our bodies instead of machines, huh? Huh? You wanna lose a few teeth? Ugh. Any fucking ways. So back to her dumb mom. It's like, she wants me to discipline her. It's like, look, this is a you problem, okay? This is you never established boundaries. All you ever did was flip out at the kid. Yelled at her all the time. You never made rules and boundaries. I made rules and boundaries. I didn't flip out at her when she was younger. I set regulations and then enforced those regulations. She didn't do either. She set no regulations, and then anytime she comes up with a punishment, it's always just an empty threat. I'm gonna do this. No, you're not. Why don't you actually fucking do it instead of threaten it all the time? Maybe then you'll have better results with the kid. No, instead I'm just going to threaten 9,000 punishments, but actually do 0 of them. That seems like effective parenting, right? That gets you some good end results. It's ridiculous. So yeah, anyways, that's the thing though. It's like, this is a you problem. I'm not with you ever in your environment. I'm there for 5 minutes max to pick her up, and sometimes you tell me some stupid stuff about, whatever she did the day before. Like I care about, she did this to her brother. Okay, personally, I really don't care. That's not a me problem. I don't have any other kids. If I did have another kid and she was mean to that kid, I wouldn't tell you about it because it's a me problem. That's my child that I got to deal with, my 2 children. If I had another one. I only have her, but I'm just saying, hypothetically, if there was another one, just like her mom has. Her mom has another kid. So if Morgan's mean to the other kid, I really don't care. That's not my problem. That is your son. That's your son and Morgan is your daughter. Those are your kids. You need to deal with it. Don't tell me. I don't care. You know, the stuff that does matter to me are things that are larger scale, not stuff that happens individually in your household. Like if she's bad at school, or if she's bad on the bus, or if she, for some reason, vandalized one of the neighbors' houses or yards or something, or if she, I don't know, was swearing at you. Yeah, that's swearing at you, but the language would cross over. That's still something that I feel like would kind of fall under my jurisdiction as well. Like, hey, whoa, why are you talking like that? You know not to talk like that. Just like the other things. If she got in trouble at school, okay, obviously that transcends both of us. But when it's internal to your home, if she's rude to you because you don't know how to parent, if she's mean to her brother, that doesn't affect me. I don't care. Like, that's a you issue. That's your world, your environment. You know, if your car needed some work done, you say it wouldn't start, you needed spark plugs or something, a new battery or something, would that be my problem? No, it wouldn't be, because that's in your world. That's your car. You need to get that resolved. So likewise, you know? But again, it goes to the deflection. Hey, I can't do it, so I'm going to complain to you and act like it's your fault. I won't admit that I can't be a parent. I'll just pretend that all this stuff is your fault instead. That way then I can still blame you, even though it makes no sense. But I won't take the time or effort to make it make sense. I'll just say the stuff because that's way easier. So anyways, yeah, that's basically what it came down to. Blame me for everything, and then she wants, basically wants me to punish her kid for, our kid for her when she's with her. So that's the other thing she brought up. She brought up, like, if she's grounded at my place, I expect her to be grounded at yours too. It's not two different worlds. It's not, oh, you're grounded with me, but everything's fine with your dad. But it's like, you know what though? I also base things based on what it's all about. Again, if she did something to her brother, and so you chose to do some kind of punishment to her, no TV or whatever, no whatever else, I don't know, go to bed early. Okay, well, that is a you punishment. Again, the boy is your son, that's in your environment, so you're punishing her when she's with you because of something that she did with you. That don't affect me. I don't have another kid. So she didn't do anything rude to my imaginary other kid. Even if I did have another kid, she didn't do anything to my kid, so I'm not going to uphold some weird punishment because of something that she did to her other brother. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be like, oh, you two can't play because she did something at her mom's house. No. Now, if she does something with me, yeah, that's different. I will make a punishment and I'll uphold it with me. And then whatever happens at her mom's, whatever, that's what happens there. But when she's with me, she will have to deal with whatever that punishment is. It's just, like, I get, yeah, you have to co-parent, but on some stuff. At the end of the day, it's still a broken home. Don't forget that aspect of what it's called. It's not called a solid home co-parenting. It's two different homes, two different everything. Jeez, it's two different lifestyles, family lifestyles and all that too. This goes up the tree. Even like grandparents and stuff are different. My mom's way different than her mom. Like her mom's mom, her other grandma. You know what I mean? Like it's completely two different worlds. And she needs to stop being an idiot and realize that and step up her own game. Don't take it out on me. I got my stuff under control. I did that on purpose because I didn't want to have a kid that was going to be terrible. Like those kids, you go into a restaurant and you hear it screaming for no reason, or you go to a store and it wants everything and you say no and it screams. I wasn't having that. So I nipped that way in the bud. Way before she could even be like that. I nipped it when she was like 2.5. So I was way ahead of the curve. Not my fault you didn't do that. So don't make it my problem now, because it's not. What else was I going to say, though? I was thinking of something when I was going on that little tangent about the punishments. Like if she does something to her brother. Oh, yeah, that's it. Grounding. I think grounding is so wussy, too. If you want to have a good punishment, come up with something or an effective punishment, I should say. Come up with something better. Grounding is like what Tony Soprano says about remember when conversation. It's the lowest form of a punishment. You know? It's like, no, I can't think of anything else to do, so I'm going to tell you that you can't watch TV for a week. Really? What is that going to teach anyone? That's like the school saying, oh, you're suspended for 2 days. Oh, no, you mean I have a 2-day vacation from school? Oh, that's so horrible. What am I going to do besides enjoy my days off? Oh. The only time being suspended from school is going to matter to a kid is if your parents are super, like, you know, good. And they're not uptight, but you know what I mean? They're on you and they care, and that, you know, then it'll suck. Because then you're going to have some extreme punishments, and you're not just going to be grounded. Oh my God, you're grounded. No, you're going to have something worse happen, like the belt every day and do nothing. And, you know, you'll have something that actually matters. But on the flip side, the kids that have parents like that aren't getting suspended. So that means these kids that do get suspended, they have lax home lives to begin with. So it goes back to what I said. Oh no, you're giving me 2 days off from school. Oh, that sounds so bad. I'll be able to sleep in. I'll be able to stay up late playing video games. Oh no. That's the same thing as grounding. Oh, you're grounded. You can't watch TV for 2 weeks. Oh, wow. Uh-oh. Oh, that's so terrible. Especially when you couple in how, you know, I see that as that's a her punishment, not a us punishment. So she ain't got that punishment with me. So she's still watching TV with me. So, oh wow, that's real scary, Mom. Well, that means a few days a week I can't watch TV. Every other day I can't watch TV. Oh no, what am I gonna do? I still have a million toys to play with. I can call her. I can play with, you know, I can, whatever else. You just play outside, jump on the trampoline, play on the tire swing, or tree swing. It's not really a tire, but the tree swing, or ride my bike, or, wow, Mom, such a solid punishment. Woo, I'm scared. Like, no, you need to come up with something better in the moment. She's acting up. Okay, we get home, we get in the belt. Boom. Then belt becomes a real threat. You're going to be grounded. Okay, cool. You're going to get the belt. Ooh, I don't want the belt. It's a much different reaction than just a little wussy grounding. That's the other thing, too, I thought of. She was saying when Morgan's punished, it should be at your place, too, not just mine. Yeah, but here's the thing. She punishes her for everything. I mean, what did she tell me? I don't know. She tells me all the time when her mom gives her like a week, and it's always for the dumbest things. And I'm like, seriously? And she's like, yeah, that's why I'm complaining about it. Like, I don't know. I think, I don't know if she actually got grounded for this, but I know one thing that she was telling me about was that her mom, every time they get home, her mom makes her get out to check the mail. And she says that, you know, Mom says I always slam the door and to stop slamming the door. So she said this day I got out and I shut the door pretty gently, you know, strong enough so the door would properly close, but I was much more gentle. And Mom still, I said don't slam the door! Because that's how she is. Always just flipping out and stuff. And, yeah. So it's like, I'm not going to follow through with your dumb punishments because, you know, something stupid happened that really doesn't matter. And now you think, oh, well, I got to ground her. So that's also why I don't do it. Like, I'm trying to think of some perfect examples of some just dumb nonsense that has happened that she's punished her for. And I'm like, really? You think I'm supposed to go along with that? What happened? I forgot. I don't know. Like, I think maybe one time was something with her brother. She made him cry. But it's like, yeah, but you don't ever pay attention to that kid. You see what she does, but you don't see what he does. He was probably irritating her, nagging her, and just kept going. And she ignored it until she broke. And then you saw her break, and now she gets in trouble. Like what happened one time. One time that I was there to pick her up, I saw it. Your brother was just being so annoying to her. Just kept nagging and being annoying. And like, I don't exactly remember what he was doing because this was a few years ago now. But he was being very annoying. Like, he was kind of annoying me. I was getting like secondhand, you know how there's secondhand embarrassment? I was getting secondhand annoyed by what he was doing to her. Because I was thinking about if he was doing it to me, it'd be very annoying. And so she ignored it. And then finally, after a couple of minutes, she was just like, Bud, stop. Just like that. She calls him Bud at home too. So, Bud, stop. Like, didn't yell, didn't anything, just kind of did that. Maybe she, like, made her hands into fists and did, like, that stammer thing, you know what I mean? Not a fist to, like, threaten to actually punch him, but just one of those fists, like, a frustration thing. Bud, stop. And, yeah, then her mom was, Morgan, don't yell at your brother. And it was like, are you serious? Did you not see the past couple of minutes? Like, he was being ridiculously annoying. I fully understand where she's coming from with, getting annoyed and telling him to stop. And that was a very passive telling him to stop, too. It wasn't aggressive. Like, what are you getting mad at her for? That was very just nice, I guess. A nice way of being mad. Like, relax, lady. Jeez. So anyways, that's basically my Thursday. Then when she was finally done, well, I got to get home because I don't remember what she said, but it was like, yeah, it's about time because I'm not interested in your stupid lecture right in front of the doors. Like, this is kind of awkward. Of course, she loves that too. She loves having her side of the story nice and loud for everyone to hear. So then I can look like an idiot in front of people who don't know the whole story. They just hear her nonsense that she's yelling about, and then they don't say anything, but it's like that's what they hear, and they think, oh, this guy, ugh. And it's like, no. You don't have the whole story. You have her side that she's intentionally yelling about just because you're right there and she wants you to hear, so then I can look like an idiot. But anyways, so then come Friday. I think Friday we texted about something. I don't remember how it started, who texted first, I don't know. But I just try to give her suggestions, okay? I'm trying to be helpful to better her relationship with Morgan, better both of their relationships, actually, her relationship with her mom and her mom's relationship with their kid. But the things that I suggest, it's like, I don't know, sometimes it's hit or miss. She gets like annoyed with the things I say, like I'm being a jerk, and it's like, don't get mad, seriously. Like, I'm trying to help you. Can't you understand that and recognize that that's all I'm doing? But, like, for example, one thing I said is, well, I really think, if you want her to be better, you need to try to engage more. I said, from what I understand, from what Morgan says, you spend a lot of time on your phone on Facebook with the TV on. And then, of course, she flips out at that, like I'm making something up. Like, she treats it like I'm coming up with these allegations myself and accusing her of things, and it's like, hey, don't get mad at me. That's just what Morgan says. That's what she sees. That's what she thinks. I hear it all the time. I say, obviously, I don't know. I'm not there. And I said, maybe she's just comparing to me because I do everything with her. So, like, if you take a few minutes to yourself, she sees it as, oh, mom's always on her phone. Or me, I don't take any time for myself. I'm always with her. So it's different. I'm like, I don't know. That's just what I hear. Don't yell at me. I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm just saying that's what she says. And if that's true, then, maybe try to spend some more time. And then after she gives some example, a whole bunch of dumb examples, she says something like, oh, well, I have a job, and then I have a family of 4, and then I have a job, a family of 4 that I have to take care of, a house. And I'm like, okay, and how is that an excuse to not really bother with your kid? And then on the same token, like I sent that, and then as a follow-up message, I was like, and also, you say this stuff like I don't have any of that. I said, I have 2 jobs, okay? You want to cry about one job? I have 2 jobs. Some days I'm working 14 hours. That includes my drive time. But still, I leave at like 6:50 in the morning, and I'm not back home until about 9 at night. And you want to cry about you having one job that you get home at 2:30 in the afternoon from? Okay. I don't want to hear it. And then I said, and second, what am I, homeless? Like, you're talking about how you have a house. I got my apartment, and I'm actually in the process of buying a house, so I'll have a house as well. So, your point is? I'm like, I got just as many responsibilities as you do. I don't know what you're trying to say here by throwing that out there. Like, that's not any kind of excuse. I get dishes that I need to clean too. I have laundry I have to clean too. I have vacuuming I have to do too. I have dusting I have to do too. So your point is? And then you complain about a family of 4. I'm a single guy that lives by myself. So all that stuff I need to do myself. Where, again, family of 4, you have 3 other people at least to help you with all that stuff, with the dishes, with the vacuuming, with the laundry. Like, if anything, your situation's a lot easier. And then she tries to cry about how the family of 4, well, I have 2 kids. Okay, and you have a husband. He can play with the son. You play with Morgan. Wow, and now you have the same situation as me. You both are just dealing with 1 kid at the time, and you're fully engaged. The whole family's fully engaged in their own way. Like, what's your excuse? Stop making excuses to not engage more. Like, is spending time with your kid to make your child happier really asking that much? Is it really that hard? Is it really that much? Like the answer is no. Because I know this, because that's what I do. I'm always fully engaged with her. I don't make excuses. Oh, I can't play with you because I got to do nothing. No. So, she says that, and then what else nonsense did she say? She says, oh, you also act like I don't do anything for them. I do tons of stuff for them. I take them places. We're going to go to New York in the winter, in Christmas time. I mean, we go to Maine all the time. We went up to New Hampshire. I don't remember when they went. I think it was midsummer. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was midsummer. We went up to there. We did this. We do that. And I'm like, yes, I know that you do a lot with them like that. Or I should say a lot for them. Which, for real, I mean, let's be real. It's not even for them. It's for her. It's an experience for her, and the kids are just coming along, basically. Let's be real. You're not planning all these vacations for the kids. You're planning them for yourself to have something fun and different to do. Hey, let's go to New Hampshire. The kids weren't like, hey, I desperately want to go to New Hampshire. Hey, Mom, I desperately want to go down to Diggerland and where is it? New Jersey, I think. Like, no. I mean, yeah, you kind of brought them there for them. I mean, it's a kids' amusement park. But still, it's also for you. You get to go to Jersey, do something different. Like, so don't try to put it too much out of context. But anyways, I said, yes, I know you're always doing stuff like that. And I'm well aware because we always have to make switches in our schedule so that then we can work around your schedule. But I was like, at the same time, that's doing stuff for them. As far as doing stuff with them, how much of that do you actually do? I said, when I'm with Morgan, I do tons of stuff with her. We go swimming, I'm swimming. I already said this earlier, but this was my text her. I'm like, I'm swimming with her the whole time. And we go to the park, I play with her if there's no other kids there. We're watching TV. I mean, she's watching TV. We're watching whatever she's watching together. We paint Bob Ross pictures in winter. We color together. I said, we just do everything together. And I'm like, let's put it this way. Let's say after we die, say someday she's thinking about something that she did with you. She's going to say, oh, I remember when we went to New York that one Christmas. Yeah, that was with me and Mom and brother. And, she's going to say that. Versus, say she's thinking about something with me, or she'll be like, oh, I remember, when I was with Dad, we did a lot of stuff. We used to paint pictures, and we used to, we played a lot of Minecraft and made a big town together, and, she'll think about stuff like that. And it's like, what's the big difference there? The big difference is the framing. It's the memory that comes to mind. In the situation with her mom, she's going to think of New York. So she's not thinking of her mom, she's thinking of a place and her mom was just there with her. But in my situation, she's thinking of me. The things it's not so much where we were or what we were doing, it was primarily me, and then she remembered all the things that we did together that makes her feel happy and all that, and why she misses me, because I'm not around to color with her anymore or whatever, to do Bob Ross pictures with her anymore. Where New York, she can still go to. She just can't go with her mom. So that's what I was trying to say to her. Like, you got to make memories that are with, not for. Because the with ones matter a lot more. It's like my dad when I was a kid. My dad worked long hours. He usually left around 7:15 in the morning, and he wasn't home until at least 8 at night, Monday through Friday. So we didn't see him much because of that. But on the weekends, he basically spent the whole weekend with us. He didn't make any dumb excuses. Oh, I work every day, I want some time to relax. No. Saturday and Sunday, he was with us. He would take us to the park and play baseball or basketball, or we'd throw a football around, or sometimes we'd just go in the backyard or something. We always did something together. And so that's the thing. Like, even though he wasn't around a lot because he just couldn't be because of his job, I still feel like I have a lot of memories with him because we did a lot with him. He didn't do a lot for us. He did a lot with us. Where in comparison, it's like my mom was always around because, you know, my dad had obviously a decent enough job. That's why he worked a ridiculous amount of hours. So she was always home. She didn't have to work. And so like in the summers, you know, my mom was there all day in the summer, all day, every day, Monday through Friday. It was us and my mom. But I feel like I have less memories with my mom because she did a lot for us, but not really with us. I mean, she did a ton for us. All our summers were fun. We always did a ton of stuff, but it was never together. Like, she'd take us to the park. She'd take us swimming. She'd take us to McDonald's, and then we could play in the playscape and stuff. But those were all things for us, never anything with. So it's funny because it's like, man, if you look at the timelines, I have way, way, way more hours of life logged with my mom than with my dad. But I probably have way more memories of things that I did with my dad than my mom because she didn't really do much. The only thing I can really remember with her is I remember when I was way younger, one time, this was like when I was 5, my brother and I had bunk beds during those days. And I remember one day she took a nap with me on my bunk. I had the top bunk. So I remember that. I remember when she taught me how to tie my shoes. She was watching Peter Jennings in the living room. I was, again, probably about 5. Yeah, because she had me learn how to tie my shoes before I started kindergarten. So that way then if my shoes came untied, I could handle them myself. And I remember when we'd go swimming, I remember her just sitting on the bench watching us all the time. You know, rarely ever actually in the water with us. And what else? We went for a lot of walks together after dinner usually. So like there's those memories, but I feel like with my dad there's a lot more. We used to drive around and look for cans, you know, the returnables. We'd look for cans on the side of the road. We used to, like I said, go play baseball, basketball, football, or just in the backyard. Sometimes, speaking of the backyard, we'd go for woods walks. There used to be a lot of woods behind the house that we lived at, next to the house and behind it. So sometimes we'd just do that. We'd just wander around in those bushes. And I remember one time was funny because I think we went out, like, to the left in those woods, and then we ended up in the backyard. Like, however we wandered around and looped around in those woods, we ended up in our backyard. But it was funny because my dad wasn't sure at first. Like, I could recognize that it was our house, and like the dogs were barking, and I recognized which dogs they were, but my dad wasn't certain. And so, like, my brother and I started to like run out, like, oh look, it's our house. But my dad was like, hold on, whose house is this? We don't know who that is. And I'm like, it's our house, look, that's. And I think we started like listing off the dogs that we could see. Like, look, that's Opie, and that's so-and-so. And he's like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, that's our house. But, yeah, so that was just kind of funny. Or I remember doing Mad Libs with my dad. Now I'm thinking about it, where was my brother? Because I remember it was kind of late one day, and it was just him and I. My mom was probably working. Maybe my brother was in bed, but why would I be up? We usually had the same bedtime, so I don't know why I'd be still up. I don't know. But, you know, and we used to play the original Nintendo with him. We played Jeopardy a lot with him, and he always, I wouldn't say cheated to let us win, but he'd always wait. You know, there was a timer, and he'd wait to see if we could guess. Even if we were wrong, he'd let us take the turn. And sometimes we didn't know, so then he'd buzz in, like, at the last second and obviously get it right, because he knew. And I always thought, how does he know all this? But it's funny, because now that I'm at an older age, not older, you know, mid-30s, but, like, now I know a lot of stuff. And I'm like, I guess that's how you know. You just, over time, you just pick it up. But as a kid, I was always like, how does he know all this stuff? This is weird. Where do you learn all this from? Why did you learn all this? But you don't. It just happens through osmosis, just through living, you know? But, yeah, so I just feel like there's tons of memories because he did stuff with us. So that's what I try to say to her. Like, do things with her. Not only will it make her happier and better in the now, but in the long run, then she'll have happy thoughts of you. And then she won't want to be difficult towards you or whatever, because she'll just think of you in a happy way. But nope, don't listen to me. Make dumb excuses. I do stuff. Okay, sure. That's why I always hear that you're just on your phone on Facebook with the TV on. Yep, really sounds like you do a lot. But okay, sure. But anyways, that was Friday. Like I said, I just tried to talk to her a little bit. She didn't want to listen. And yeah, basically, it wasn't super bad. It was just her kind of like defending herself, even though I wasn't attacking her in the first place, so there's no reason to be defensive, but that's just how she is. She's an idiot. So anyways, that happened to be my weekend as well. And then over the weekend, Morgan had, kind of like vented about her mom, basically. We were in the car driving with my mom and stuff, and she was just going off venting. And obviously we agree with her because we know her mom and know that her mom's a huge pain in the butt. So, but while she was venting, I got to thinking, and I was like, I'm sure this is making her feel a little bit better just to get this off her chest. Because you always feel better about talking about things. That's why I make these T4Casts. But, at the same time, I'm like, the issues that she has with her mom are never going to get resolved if she doesn't, if her and her mom don't actually talk. You know what I mean? If her mom keeps acting like an idiot and keeps on that trajectory, and she doesn't tell her mom how she feels, then nobody's going to know anything. And you know what I mean? Things are just going to stay terrible. So I thought maybe I should try to be like a middleman and just remember all this stuff that she says and then convey it to her mom separately, not in front of her, just kind of make it like a me and her thing. So that way then she can understand what her kid thinks and maybe make changes or something moving forward so things can get better. So anyways, yeah, I just typed out the whole thing to her in email. I figured it'd be easier than trying to actually talk to her because she'd just cut me off a lot, and that's going to defeat the whole purpose of what I'm trying to achieve. So I typed the whole thing, and apparently it was 2 pages long. I don't know. When you're typing an email, you can't really tell. But, the aftermath of it was, that's what I kept hearing. Why'd you type me something 2 pages long? I don't know, because that's how long it ended up being, I guess. I don't know what to tell you. But, yeah, it ended up absolutely backfiring, which just doesn't even make any sense. It shouldn't even have been anything close to like a backfire or anything. This should have been something that she took, I should say, and appreciates. If the roles were reversed and say Morgan had issues with me and she was venting to her mom and her mom told me, I'd want to know. So then I could be like, that's what she thinks, that's what she feels. Like, it would make me feel sad if she was upset with me. I wouldn't see it as, you're just trying, like, basically what she was doing was acting like I was making things up, even though it's everything Morgan told me. I'm not making anything up. This is what your kid says. Like, one thing she brought up again, per usual, is how, her mom's always just on her phone, on Facebook, and watching TV. And she hates that. She just wants her mom to bother with her a little bit more, I guess. I don't know. So that was in the letter, and of course, though, according to her mom, I'm making stuff up. You're not even here. You don't know what happens. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'm not there. I don't know. I'm telling you what your kid tells me. Well, I probably said our kid tells me. And it's just like, she just was flipping out all day. I typed this almost like first thing in the morning at work. And I had to hear it all day via text. It was ridiculous. Stupid coughing. I don't know what the F is wrong with me. I've been coughing for like a week now. It's ridiculously annoying. Anyways, but yeah, it was just ridiculous. Flipping out, acting like I'm some kind of a-hole, she interpreted what I sent her as if I was trying to say she's a terrible mom and stuff, and it's like, what? I sent you what your kid said to me so you could be aware and you could make a change. Maybe even have a discussion with her so you guys could smooth things out together. Like, what? I only had the best intentions with this. But no, I forgot who I was talking to, and of course, she never sees anything that way. Everything in her eyes is an attack. She's perfect. Everyone else is an idiot. She knows everything. So it's like, oh yeah, whoops, I forgot about all your stupid conditions that you have. I don't mean conditions like mental or whatever. I just mean conditions like like an if-then statement, you know? Those kind of conditions. Oh, well, I'm perfect. Everything I say is right. I know everything. You're the problem. Yes, it's me. Yep, let's just keep thinking that. The kid's perfectly fine with me. She voices her concerns with you. But, you know, don't listen to them. Just keep being an a-hole to me for no reason. Makes sense. Anyways, later, after Morgan did get home, they talked. And I'm aware of this because she recorded the whole entire dang conversation with each other and sent it to me. So it wasn't all in one big audio clip. It ended up being over the course of, I think she did it in 5 clips. Basically, it was each topic that I brought up, they made into their own clip. And so, yeah, some of them are long, some of them are short. There were some, like, I'm trying to listen to them while I'm working, and, like, some of them are, I don't know, 5 minutes long, 6 minutes, and I'm holding the phone to my ear, like, geez, I don't have time for this. And then there's other ones that were, you know, a couple minutes long. But, yeah, that ended up being the outcome of that. So now, fast forward a tiny bit more. I forget where the date was at that point. But now we're looking at Thursday, October 26th? Yeah, I think it's Thursday, October 26th. So I get there to pick Morgan up. And, you know, her mom's in the other room with her friend and maybe her husband, too. I don't know who was in there. I couldn't see. They were around the corner and stuff. But, yeah, when it's time to go, one thing that her mom ends up yelling is, oh, did you get your clothes out for tomorrow? And Morgan just says, yeah. But she looks at me and just does a quiet, no. But whatever. No big deal. Fine. You'll just get them out in the morning. Whatever. Well, her mom ends up finding out she didn't get her clothes out, so then she's just blowing me up. Now, I'm trying to be at a party. It's a birthday party for Morgan's cousin, a young one. The kid was turning 2. But I'm trying to be out there at the party. And we're trying to eat and stuff. And her mom's just being ridiculous. Blowing up my phone. Blowing up Morgan's phone. Calling her. Text. All because Morgan lied. And she's way overreacting to it. And again, now it's starting over with this nonsense. With the, oh, you don't co-parent and blah, blah, blah. Oh, you need to punish her. She needs to know that lying isn't okay. I don't care how small the lie is. It's still a lie. And it's like, oh my God, it's not that big a deal. So she didn't get her clothes out. Like, she told you yes just because she's in the process of leaving to go with me. Okay? She was excited to leave with me. She didn't want to dick around and waste a couple of seconds more to get her clothes out. Plus, if you actually ever listened to your kid, you would know that she prefers to get her clothes out in the morning. So, with that knowledge, why do you have to be a butthole and make her get her clothes out at night? If she wants to get them out in the morning, who cares? Let her get them out in the morning. It's not like she's going to go to school naked if she doesn't get her clothes out at night. Oh, you didn't get your clothes out, now you're going to have to go to school naked? Great. Like, no, she'll still get her clothes out. And then what I think's even dumber is, on top of that, she threw this huge fit while I'm trying to be at this party. And what'd she do? She got her clothes out for her anyways. So you're going to throw a fit about how she lied to you that she didn't actually get her clothes out, but then you're going to do it for her. Yet, what's your first move to be? It's to blame me that, oh, she's the way she is because you don't co-parent. If I give her a punishment, you don't do it. So then she thinks, well, it's fine. Or, I don't have to worry about this too much. Dad won't enforce it. Or anything dumb like that she says. And it's just like, okay, but what do you think it's going to teach her when you're mad at her because she didn't get her clothes out or because she lied? It's not so much that she didn't get her clothes out. It's that she lied. Okay, well, what do you think it's teaching her when you go and just do it for her anyways? Like, how is that my problem? You want her to get her clothes out, then you need to stick to that. You shouldn't have gotten her clothes out. And then next time, you should be more adamant about it. Don't tell her, like, when you pick her up at school, oh, when we get home, get your clothes out. Tell her when you get home and be there and watching her or something. You'll make it so that way then she's doing it. Or think of it a little bit more ahead of time. Not the second she's running out the door with me. Think of it a little bit more ahead of time, 10 minutes before. I usually show up around the same time, so think of it 10 minutes before. Oh, hey, did you get your clothes out? That way, then if she didn't, she's got time, and she probably wouldn't say no to you, because I'm not there, so she's like, whatever, I got time, I'll get my clothes out. Like, there's so many options, but it's quick and easy to blame it on me, which is so annoying. It's just like this one time. I don't know if I ever complained about this before, but it kind of fits now, so I'll mention it. There was this one time, probably a couple months ago now. What month are we? We're at the beginning of November, September, October. Yeah, probably beginning of September. When school first started, so I bring her son to school Tuesday through Friday. And there was one day where so I go outside to stand with Morgan when she catches the bus. So there was one day that, I don't know why I was there. Maybe it was a Friday. So we were already there early and stuff. We went outside and he was ready and he came out with us. We locked up and everything, whatever. The plan was as soon as she got on the bus, then we were just going to leave. Well, apparently his watch was dying. It didn't charge overnight. It was I don't know. I don't even think the percentage it was at was really that severe either. It was at like 25%. Like, okay, that's kind of dead, but his phone is just a watch. So I'm sure it'll survive the whole day at 25%. Maybe it'll go down to 20. Like, I don't think it's dying that rapidly. Oh my God, it's not at a full charge. Well, this thing will be dead before you know it. Like, if that is the case, then you need to get them like new watches or something. You need to upgrade their stuff so they don't have something that dies that fast, because that's kind of ridiculous. But anyways, of course, because this thing was almost dead, then it's, oh, you need to go in and let them charge it for a little. And I'm like, we can't. We already locked the door. And then, oh, what'd you do that for? What if he has to go to the bathroom? Of course, coming up with all these dumb scenarios like she always does. It's like, first off, I would think he doesn't have to go to the bathroom. He literally got up half an hour ago and went to the bathroom. Like, if he has to go to the bathroom again within half an hour, then he must have a medical condition, and instead of worrying about having the door unlocked, you need to take him to the doctor's. Secondly, I mean, I take him to school anyways. Like, if he has to go to the bathroom, just hold it for 10 minutes, and then we're at the school, and then you can use the bathroom there. Again, problem solved. Like, it's not that serious that you're going to make this part of your weird scenario. But anyway, yeah, then I had to hear being all bent out of shape over that because we couldn't charge his watch more. And blah, 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 blah. And of course, it's my problem. Why is the door already locked? You should have left the door unlocked. Why is he already out there? You know, you guys don't have to leave yet. I don't know, because he wanted to. It's like, at the end of the day, I was like, look, my job, so to speak, is to come here and make sure that he's dressed properly. I say that because he doesn't even know how to get dressed. Sometimes I put clothes on backwards, so I got to verify that his clothes are on the right way. I got to make sure that he has everything, like his lunch and his water bottle and stuff. And then that's basically it. Make sure the lights are off in the house, and then we go. So I did my job. I didn't know all of a sudden now that making sure the watch was charged adequately is on my list too. So I said, instead of making this my problem, why don't you take any responsibility in this? Why does this become my problem? You know, there's so many things that you could have done to have prevented this rather than just taking it out on me. Either A, you could have put his watch on the charger, that way then you know it's charging. Because I guess that's the problem. It was on the charger, but it wasn't on correctly or something, so it didn't have a proper connection, so it didn't charge. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a QI type situation. If it's not properly on the QI, it won't charge. That was like his thing. It mustn't have been on there right, so it didn't charge. So it's like, either A, you could be a responsible adult, because this kid is kind of semi-irresponsible. I mean, she knows it. She says it all the time. Makes fun of him herself all the time. Not really makes fun of him, but, you know, she acknowledges that he's not really with it. He's kind of an airhead and dumb and stuff. So it's like, you know this. So rather than blindly trust that he's going to charge his watch properly, you go put it on the charger. Then you know it's on there right. That's option one. Option two, double check it before you go to bed. Check that it's on there right. You tell him to put it on. Okay, you put it on. Good. You're helping him build responsibility. But then you double check that it's properly charging. If you would have done that, you would have caught that. Oh, this thing isn't charging. Let me adjust this. There, now it's charging. Option three, she usually gets up early for work. She's up at around, I think she leaves at like 5:15, so I don't really know what time she gets up at. Maybe 4:30, but that's plenty early enough. You could have snuck in there and made sure it was charging then. Oh, let me just double check that this is actually charging. At 4:30, you'd see, oh, it's at 25%. It's not charging. that would at least give it a couple hours charge right there. It wouldn't bring it to 100, but it might bring it to 75. Or option number 4. These phones, they're designed for kids. They are a kids watch phone. So there's an app that links the watch to her phone, so like she can see everything on her phone. She can see if they text anyone. I mean, the texting's very limited. You can only program 5 numbers into the phone, and that's it. Nothing else will work. You can't take incoming. You can't send outgoing. If it's not programmed in your phone, it's automatically blocked. So, but anyway, she can spy on that. If the kids are texting someone, she can see who they're texting. I don't know if she can actually see the message, but she can see that messages were sent. So there's that. She can see, there's GPS. She can see that. And I'm pretty sure she can see their percentages. Well, so again, you could have checked that earlier just on your phone. You don't even have to go in his room. Just take a look at your phone, log into the app, spy on his phone. Oh, wow, it's only at 25%. What the heck's going on here? You know, problem solved. Nope. We can't, oh my God. We can't do that because it's just so much easier to make it my problem. Because we left and the door's already locked. Why is the door already locked? Instead of looking at all the other options, like, oh, I should have checked that. My bad. Oh, well, if his phone dies today, I guess it dies. Because that's the other thing, too. She wants these kids to have their watches at school so that way then when they're on the bus, or at least him, she picks up Morgan from school, but when he's on the bus, she has him call from the road before their road. There's a stop there, so she has him call so that way then they know. Because you need to have a parent out to allow the kid to get off the bus. So that's what she does, has him call, then she knows, okay, I gotta go to the door and be outside. So it's like, all of this nonsense you're giving me is so then you can be like lazier, essentially. You know, because when we were kids, that wasn't an option. If we needed a parent outside, they had to be outside and waiting for the bus. Just like we do in the morning when we wait for the bus to pick us up. So you're giving me a hard time, all because later it'll inconvenience you. You're going to have to be outside a little earlier and just wait because you don't know when he's going to be back because his phone might be dead. Like all that just for that. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, it's not even that critical. It's just you trying to be lazier. Oh, good, you're calling me now? Okay, now I'll go outside. Because it would really kill you to stand outside a little bit longer. Plus, this was September. It was still warm. Beginning of September when school started, it's still warm. It's not even like it's cold outside. You can't even use that excuse. So I said, there's all those options. Instead of attacking me, why don't you try any of those? I said, or how about this? How about on the days that I have Morgan, which is... No, was it the day she sleeps over? No, I think I said, yeah, every day that I have her, give me his watch, and then I can charge it. At least then we'll know that Wednesdays it'll be charged, Fridays it'll be charged, and if you give it to me on the weekend when I have her, then you know Monday it'll be charged as well. I will properly make sure that that stupid thing's charged. Then on the other days when it's not charged, don't blame me, because it's your day, you should have charged it up right. Like, if it's this big of an issue that you can't verify or your kid can't figure out how to charge his watch, then let's do this. Instead of just attacking me and acting like I'm some kind of a problem. None of that actually happened because, of course, then she'd have to admit she's an idiot. So, ever since then, there's been no issues. His watch has been charged. I don't know if she's stepped up or if it's just been by chance that it's charging right now. Not right now, but you know what I mean, correctly now. Or what, but still. So anyways, that long tangent, I don't even remember why I started going in on that. Why did I mention all that? I think it was just to showcase how annoying she is and how she wants to blame everything on everyone else instead of looking at her own responsibilities. Because that's like another thing I said too. I said, you know, I get Morgan at about 4:30 and we come back here for 6 in the morning. You know, all things considered, that's like 13 and a half hours that I've been gone. I haven't been here, I haven't been to your place or anything. I've been gone, Morgan's been gone too, for 13 and a half hours straight. Now, this watch has been with you the whole entire time, and that means it also has had 13 and a half hours to charge, which means it should be overcharged. It should be at 100+%. Yeah, I'm here for half an hour now, and you want to blame this issue on me? Somehow it's my fault because we locked the door? And then that actually reminds me, there's a couple other things I suggested as well. I said, one, why doesn't he have a key? Morgan's got a key. Why doesn't he have a key? That would solve the problem too. Okay, the door's already locked, but we can still get back in because he's got a key. Again, is that my problem? No. And then the other thing was back to the charging. I said, if you don't want to charge it in his room, why don't you do it in a common area then? Set up like a charging station for both of the kids in the living room or something, you know? Or put it in the kitchen. They do charge a lot of things in the kitchen. Her husband usually does for like his job because he works at night, so he wears headlamps and stuff. So he charges those batteries out there. So set up a charging station somewhere in the kitchen then. I mean, they have an island table that they don't use. They have a regular dining room table that they do eat at, and the island table's kind of just there. They kind of just like use it to lounge around at. You know what I mean? They'll stand and like lean on it while talking. Or it's used for like storage, sort of, like the mail. They get the mail, they throw it on that table. Halloween candy, it's on that table. Like, it's kind of just, you know what I mean, just like a catch-all table. And there's drawers, and they use those drawers. They put stuff in there, but the table itself isn't really used. I don't think I've ever seen them sitting at that table. So maybe make a charging station there. I'm sure there's an outlet nearby that you could use and just set some stuff up. Maybe even charge some of your stuff there. Make it a true charging station. All your phones there, their watches there. Like, do something. Don't just blame me because your kid's watch is there. It's not even my kid, too. That's the other thing. Just think about that now. It's not even like Morgan's watch was dead. You know what I mean? At least that's my kid. Okay, it's semi my responsibility. It still wouldn't be if she wasn't with me. It still wouldn't be my problem. But at least it's my kid. This isn't even my kid. I'm just helping you out, bringing him to school. And now you're going to make it my problem because his watch is dead? So yeah, that's like the kind of dumb nonsense I have to deal with. And that's kind of like what happened with this whole situation when I told her about... Oh, wait, where am I at? No, I'm talking about the party. Okay, so... yeah, so that's where I think this tangent was coming off from. Because with the party, I was saying, like, you know, you went and got her clothes out. Now you want to blame me because she's might lie to you or whatever, but you don't want to look at yourself. You don't want to look at how you treat her, how you've always screamed at her when she was smaller over who knows what. There was so many times I would go there and pick her up, and it was just like, oh my God, what is happening? Like, she'd just be screaming at Morgan, and she was like 4 or 5 years old, just this little kid. And I'm like, what could she have done that was that bad that you need to be yelling at her like this? Like, what in the world? And I'd always think, good thing I'm here to get her. Geez, save her from this. You know, and then I'd think, what would happen if I wasn't coming? How long would this go on for? What would happen after the screaming session? It's kind of a weird situation because it's both good and bad, because what I started to do when she was screaming at her all the time is I started to put my phone on record, and I put it in my pocket when I went into her place so then I could record if she was screaming at her. And so the weird part is, though, is right around the time that I started doing this, she kind of stopped. It never really happened anymore. I think it happened once, and I got to the point where I figured it wasn't going to happen anymore, so I didn't have my phone in my pocket, and I was like, dang it, I need this for evidence. But even still, it wasn't a regular thing anymore, so I was like, I don't think this would even count. One time? I can't just have one time. Like, it used to be almost every single day, and then as soon as I started recording, it stopped. And I don't think it's because she knew. There's no way she knew, because her front curtains, where she used to live, you know, I'd park just right in front of the house, not in their driveway, just in front of the house, which it was close to the road, but they always had curtains pulled. So I don't even know if she actually knew I was there. Maybe she heard me pull up, I don't know. But otherwise, I don't even know if they knew I was actually there. Like, she always just has the door unlocked because she's expecting I'm coming. So, but I don't know if she should see me or anything. And where I would put my phone, like in wintertime, I'd slide it in my jacket pocket. You couldn't see that. The pockets were deep enough so my phone definitely wasn't showing. And like, it's a winter jacket. Like, you gotta put a lot of stuff in there to see any kind of bulge. You're not gonna see a small phone bulge in the pocket. And even if you did, she don't know that it's recording, because that's another strategy I did. I'd always put it so that then the screen was facing towards me, just in case. That way then she wouldn't see any light or anything. If she did see the phone, she'd see just the phone, because I turned the brightness way down, so obviously the phone was on and recording, but the brightness was way down. So with her lights on in the home and stuff, she's not going to see a light. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just weird timing, which on one hand kind of sucks because I wanted to try to build a case for DCF or something. I didn't know where to go. I was going to start with DCF and then see what they recommended from there. If we should go back to court or what. Maybe DCF would represent me or something in court. Well, not represent me, but represent me. How do I phrase this? No representation. They're not lawyers, but maybe somebody would come and like kind of just, maybe I could, what's the word? Subpoena somebody? So maybe I could get somebody from DCF to at least come and be on my side and be like, yes, he has reached out to us. We've heard the recordings. They are very brutal and I don't know whatever words they use, startling or shocking or something, and you know. But it stopped. But on the other hand, it stopping is good because that means Morgan wasn't being screamed at anymore. So it's like, well, I guess I don't get a case, but at the same time, at least you don't have to live in misery as much. But anyways, yeah, like you don't think about that while your kid acts up. You don't think about how you know, clearly she's upset with you just hanging out in the TV room watching on your phone all the time. That's another thing she said to me recently too. Speaking of that, she says there's a lot of times where like I'll talk to her, mom, or I'll ask her a question and she doesn't hear me, and I say it again, Mom, where's blah blah blah? Mom, where's blah blah? And then finally, what? And I say, where's blah blah? And then like, you know, I'll say something like, geez, I asked you 4 times already. She's like, I didn't hear you. And it's just like, obviously that's something that frustrates her, that you're not even paying attention to her, that she says something to you 5 times and you didn't hear it because you're that involved in your phone. Like that's way more important to you than what your kid might have to say. But yeah, she doesn't take into account any of her flaws. It's just me. Oh no, it's you. Oh, she lies to me because of you. No, do you think, first off, this lie was a super stupid small throwaway lie. Who cares? I don't. You know, it's just a little it's just a little white lie that she said. She just wanted to head out with me. Like, I'm like, who cares? I'm not gonna throw a big fit over this. You know, it's not like she did something severe, like, I don't know, damaged your car and then lied about it or something. It's something dumb. It's just annoying. You know, not to go on some weird transition here, but this T4Cast series I've actually been making over the course of time. Like, it's been probably a week and a half, 2 weeks since I started. And I just thought of some stuff, but I don't remember if I already talked about it or not, so I don't want to bring it up again. But it's just the whole situation when she was at her parent-teacher conferences. Did I mention that already? See, I do want to talk about it, but I don't, because if I already did, then that's weird. But if I didn't, then I want to. This is very relevant to this story. I don't know. I mean, basically the parent-teacher conference, though, was what started all this nonsense with, you don't co-parent. Which is also dumb because there's 2 levels to the co-parenting. There's the one that she's referring to, and then there's the bigger picture stuff. And in either scenario, I do quite a bit, okay? I'm going to make a separate video talking about all that stuff, breaking it down, but yeah. So basically that's kind of where I'm at now. And then what happened? Oh yeah, I guess apparently on, was it Halloween? Yeah, I think it might have been Halloween. She had the kids, again, like I said, Jessica is always, she's always going over the top with everything that she does for the kids and stuff. I said this before, right? Man, I get confused because I did a practice run by myself earlier, so I might have said this stuff earlier. My point is Morgan's mom does a lot of stuff, like, all the time, over the top. Way over the top for no reason. You know, she buys the kids new backpacks every year, buys them new shoes every year for school. Do they need it? No, they don't need it. Their old backpack worked perfectly fine. You know, their old shoes were perfectly fine. They haven't outgrown them or anything. But nope, gotta get new ones. Gotta get them new clothes too. She's always over the top with that. I mean, everything else she kind of sucks. Like, actually, like, interpersonal stuff, she sucks at that. But, you know, medical care, dental, all that, she's on top of that. But, yeah, so this thing, what was I gonna say? Oh, yeah, so Halloween. She had them bring snacks to school. And of course, way over the top, They bring like 3 packages of cupcakes. I guess her brother has a student in the class who's got a peanut allergy or something, so she even got peanutless things for that kid. And just way over the top for no reason. And so anyways, I guess Morgan, so the neighbor built a shed thing that the kids can sit in when they're waiting for the bus. I mean, for now it's just Morgan. She's the only one that actually does wait for the bus, because I bring her brother to school and then he takes the bus home. Well, he's not going to wait in the shed after he gets off the bus. He's just going to run home, you know? So anyways, I guess she was in there and put the bag down on the bench, and it ended up falling. So all the cupcakes, they didn't fall out or anything. They're in, plastic containers, but they ended up upside down. So frosting got on, like, the cover and stuff. So anyways, I guess what she told the students and the teacher was that her brother did something to make that happen. Which, okay, fine. No big deal. I mean, of course, her mom texts me and says, oh, she lied. She told me the truth, but she still lied at school, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, all right, I don't know why you're still getting bent out of shape over this. It's like you're just trying to make a problem just so there can be a problem. You're not being rational. You're not being reasonable. Like, for one, she told you the truth, okay? That's what should matter. She told you, yeah, I dropped him, and then I just blamed it on him when I was at school. Like, think about it. She probably lied to the teacher and her class, especially the classmates, because she didn't want to feel embarrassed. Oh, I don't want to look like an idiot in front of my whole class that I dropped these. So she probably felt like it was a better option to just say it was him. Oh, my brother knocked these over on me or something. They don't know him. They're 3 years apart. They don't know her brother. He's some little kid compared to them, you know? So they don't know him. Geez, the teachers don't even know him. Like, it's just a free scapegoat. And then she doesn't have to feel so dumb for dropping her cupcakes, you know? And then, like I said, she told her mom the truth. That should matter to her. Any lying is bad. Well, she told you the truth, and it's still not good enough for you. It's like this kid always has a lose-lose with her mom. Doesn't matter what she does. Yeah, I lied to the students, but I'm telling you the truth, Mom. Well, that's still no good. But anyways, yeah. Of course, though, she texts me about that. It's just a small lie, but still, she's still just lying. So blah 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 blah. Like, I don't know if she was planning on setting up a punishment for that. I know the last session, that Thursday, when she lied to her mom about not getting her clothes out, she said she was going to punish her for that one. But that one was delayed, because I guess the weekend she was supposed to have some friends and family over, so she says, I'm not going to ruin it for them. I'll let her be available for them to enjoy, but on Monday, she's getting grounded or something, because she lied. And it's like, seriously? Relax. There are so many bigger issues that are way more significant to worry about than a stupid little worthless white lie. Seriously right now? Your constant stupid treatment is just going to keep things going down this path. Nothing's going to get better if you don't put in the effort to make it get better. It's just like she talks about putting her in boot camp. Okay, what do you think that's going to do? She's probably going to hate it, and then all it's going to do is build resentment for you. She's going to be like, oh, my mom made me do this. I don't want to do this, and I had to do it. And, and it's just going to make her frustrated. And be more difficult for you and hate you even more. Don't think ever, just do dumb stuff. It's like, she never wants to try to work with Morgan. She just wants to punish. That's the only option. I gotta punish her. That'll fix the behavior. Constant punishment. Really? When do you think that constantly punishing a kid is going to make the behavior any better? Like, do you not remember being a kid yourself? If you were constantly punished, how would you be? You'd probably act up more. You'd be more rebellious because you'd hate the constant punishment. You'd be mad at your parents for constantly punishing you. And she ought to know. She ran away from home when she was 15 and emancipated herself and all that. I mean, yeah, in part that's her parents' fault as well, because since she was a minor, they were supposed to show up to the court date and they didn't. But still, she somehow figured out how to go through all that. I wouldn't have known about that when I was 15. Jeez, I wouldn't even know about that if I never even knew her. I wouldn't know that was an option. Not like I would want it, but I'm just saying. So, you know all about that, but then her, I'm just going to constantly punish you. Duh. And then I'm going to wonder why things are so bad here with you and me. I don't know. I can't listen to anything your dad says, though, because he just wants to say that I'm a crappy mom and all this. He thinks he's so great. I can't listen to any of his suggestions when he's trying to help out. Duh. He don't co-parent. Duh. That's all I can think. Dealing with this broad can be very difficult. She was such a pain in the butt when Morgan was a baby. And it lasted until she was about, I don't know, maybe 3. Then it kind of fizzled out. You know, the guy that she's with now, she's been with ever since Morgan was 2. And it seemed like he's slightly balanced her out. One, it got her attention off of me. She had something else to worry about instead of me. You know, she had a boyfriend now. And then she got pregnant quickly with her son with him. So then there was a baby to worry about. Not me all the time. So it kind of took a little heat off me, which was good. But now recently, it's all within the past, like, couple of months, she's been starting to be a pain in the cock again. About dumb stuff. Like, it's about stuff that she won't admit any fault to. It's 100% her fault, what's going on, but she won't admit any fault to it. So anyways, yeah, I keep forgetting. I'm going on weird tangents here. So now the big thing is her solution. First off, her solution, back to all extremes, it was either I need to do everything that she says. If she sets a punishment for Morgan, I need to do that punishment too, because she needs to know that she's punished. And not just with me, but always. She has one life, blah, 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 not 2. Not one life with me, one life with you. Which, as a side note, that's kind of the case. I mean, she kind of does. You know, because your world is completely different than my world. You know, you have 2 kids, you have a husband. I'm single with just her. You got a house, I got an apartment. You know, you got a yard and stuff in it. I don't really. If we go play, I gotta go to a park. I actually do stuff with my kid and spend all my time with her when we're together. It sounds like you don't. So yeah, it kind of is 2 different lives. You know, it's not, but yeah, she wants to be like just militant, and everything she does, I'm supposed to do too. This is what I do. You need to do it too. You can't have a brain. You can't think. You can't be your own person. When it comes to our kid, we gotta do everything exactly the same. Okay, sure. So anyways, it was either that or we gotta go back to court. So then we can have mediation and maybe come up with something, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, okay, that's pretty stupid too. So I didn't have anything to pick. She kept wanting me to pick one. What are you gonna do? Which one is it? Which one is it? And I said, neither. These are both ridiculously extreme. We don't need this. We don't need to go back to court, but at the same time, I'm not going to do everything you do. Like, we're separate people. I'm going to do things my way. And if you don't like it, well, I don't know what to tell you. That's how you want to do things. That's not how I want to do things. And I'm like, clearly, your way doesn't work. That's why you have problems. Do I have problems with her? No. Is she problematic at school? No. Is she problematic on the bus? No. Is she problematic with anybody else? No. It's just you. But rather than realize that and try to figure out why there's only a problem with you, it's easier for you to act like I'm the problem, and then I got to do everything your way. Because that'll make sense. That'll make things better. It'll make her start to feel certain. It'll either, A, make her hate you even more, because she'll know that if I enforce the punishment, it's because I'm doing it because of you. Or she's going to start to hate me too, thinking, why are you being a wuss bending to my stupid mom? Like, there's no positive outcome here to me doing your dumb militant punishments over nothing. Oh, what'd you do? You said hi to me the wrong way? That's it, you're grounded. And your dad's gonna uphold this too. You need to learn to say hi to me the right way. Like, that's stupid. So anyways, I also said, well, if you're gonna be doing this nonsense, going to court, I'm not bringing your kid to school anymore then. If you can't work with me and be reasonable, I'm not going to be reasonable and work with you either. Like, he's your kid, he's your problem. I do this for free to be helpful. And if you're going to pull this nonsense, I'm not going to do something helpful to you when you're going to inconvenience me over the dumbest nonsense. So later, she talked to her husband, and he's like the only person that she'll listen to. Yeah, she doesn't listen to him in the moment. She'll give him a hard time just like she gives everyone else, but at least whatever he says will eventually sink into her head. Everyone else, it just bounces off. She don't want to hear it. She gets into her moods and blah, blah, whatever you say just bounces off. She'll hear it enough to flip out, and then it bounces off. But with him, she'll hear it and flip out, but then eventually it'll seep in. It's like having really dry skin with her. As long as you apply enough lotion, it'll eventually seep into your skin and moisturize you, and you won't have dry skin anymore. That's her husband. He's the lotion. Everyone else is just like a pair of gloves. Like, okay, you put gloves on, but at the end of the day, your skin's still dry. Nothing. There's no solution there. But yeah. So he ended up suggesting that we go to counseling of some kind. I don't know what it would be. We're not a couple, but it's not marriage counseling. I don't know. It's some kind of counseling though. It would be me, her, and Morgan, and we'd all just go and talk, and we'd talk about how I don't co-parent, and this would give an opportunity for Morgan to say what she thinks about her situations, or give her mom an opportunity to say her dumb nonsense that hopefully the counselor will see through, and then it gives me an opportunity to say everything, fill in the blanks of what Morgan's mom would clearly leave out. But yeah, and then I guess he asked if I could still bring the kid to school, and I was like, well, if he's asking, I guess. Like, I'm not doing it for you now because you want to be a butthole, but I guess I'll do it for him. He's the last option. He's, so far, as long as I've known him, he hasn't really done me any wrong, so. But that's the last straw. He does something, then fuck you. You gotta figure out your kid yourself, because I ain't doing it for her, and now I wouldn't be doing it for him anymore if something happened, But yeah, so I don't know when this counseling nonsense is supposed to happen. She mentioned that this has been like, what day is today? It's Monday night now, so it's been about a week, a little over a week now. She still hasn't found anyone. Last update I had was she tried, and the person doesn't have very much availability, which doesn't make any sense. She says they're not available Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, or Friday. Which it's like, okay, so you're running a counseling company and you'll, work 2 days? You do Monday, Wednesday, and that's it? That's weird and dumb. The only reason I can't do Monday, Wednesday is because I work a second job on those days, so I'm unavailable. And that's what I told her, too. I said, fine, we can do the counseling, but you need to remember that I have my whole life situated as is. I have a second job. I'm not going to be bending any of my schedule to accommodate stupid counseling, so you can figure it out on time that I actually have free time. So but yeah, and even this is annoying to me. I'm like, this is completely pointless. We're gonna go to this for what? The funny part is, Morgan says that I asked my mom, I said, why do we have to go to counseling for? That's dumb. And then after, she says her mom's response was, because your dad has issues that he doesn't think exist, so we need to go to someone so then she can talk and she can point them out, and maybe he'll hear her since he doesn't hear me when I say him. And it was like, are you serious right now? Like, you are the problem. Morgan has issues with you because you're a pain in the cock. I even laid these issues out for you via that email that I sent. Those are words straight from your kid's mouth. But I'm the issue? It's my problem that you misinterpreted that message as an attack and acted like I made all that stuff up to just, I don't know, what's the word, slander you? Or I'm the problem that you just want to constantly punish this child, and then you wonder why she has, like, animosity and resentment feelings towards you? It's me? Are you serious? And I just feel like at the end of the day, it's not even going to matter. Even if the counselor person does see this and tries to talk to her, look, I know you think that things are A, but they're actually B. A being I'm the problem, but B is her. But they're actually B. I mean, all things considered, there's this that you really could work on. It's just going to be a fail. She's not going to listen. She's just going to flip out the counselor. Oh, you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. I don't know why the fuck I hired you. I'm not paying for this session. You're supposed to be here to tell him that he sucks. Blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like, it's just going to go like that. It's going to be an absolute fail, waste of time. It's going to be stupid. And, yeah. So yeah, it's just gonna be a total fail. And we're going to leave with me knowing that, yeah, I know I'm not the problem. And instead, she's still going to have it in her head that I'm the problem. Even though the counselor will be like, nah, lady, you got to look at yourself instead of looking at him. She won't listen. She'll just think that, I don't know, the counselor's an idiot. Didn't go to college long enough or something. Or that I somehow influenced them. And it's like, no, you just never look at yourself. But anyways, I'm not going to talk about this counseling session because I'm going to do that as a whole separate video. I was going to do it onto this one, but I was like, that's really going to make this ridiculously long. Plus, I do drone on and on and on about stuff, and nobody listens to these anyways. But at least if I make more videos, I feel like there's a better chance of somebody listening to something, maybe. You know, it's more videos, more options. So anyways, yeah. That's the annoyance that I have dealing with my daughter's mother sometimes. A lot of times recently. Oh, so that's all I got for this one. So, yeah. Thanks for checking this out. If you did, which I know you fucking didn't. If you did, you listened to only like 12 seconds of the beginning. I'm just like, what the hell is this? This is boring. And then dipped. But if you some reason did, maybe I know you, and that's why you listened to this whole thing. So, hey, let me know you listened to this. And, yeah. I probably know you, so see you later. Probably.